They are bringing coaches. They are bringing in players from everywhere around the world. They are trying to challenge for their Premier League or their title for next season. Welcome to Gold Sports. My name is Godwin, and I'm here still with the A team to discuss all the transfers that have been happening since they have been playing in Copa America. You know, the Euros just finished, and the Copa America and the Euros just finished. So clubs have started making moves. Some have started making moves already. So we are going to talk about some of those transfers and some of the rumors that big clubs are trying to get in this transfer window. Good morning, Nonso. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. How are you, John? I hope the code is not.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
You're fine. Thank
You're asking John if the code, as big as he is, can the code get to him?
Okay, guys. Remember, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We are live now on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can join us. Drop your comments on your thoughts about the transfers of clubs that we are going to be talking about. You can also call us on the number 0706 048 5853. Tell us what you think or who you think that your club should sign this summer. Okay, let's start with Manchester United because they played a friendly game yesterday, which they lost. They lost that game against Rosenborg 1-0. It was a friendly, even though Ten Hag said that he's interested in the performance, not the result. But in a whole, now let's talk about Manchester United in general because they have been bringing in a whole lot of backroom staff. They brought in Van Nistelrooy, brought in another coach, they brought in a goalkeeper coach yesterday. They signed a goalkeeper coach, so I don't think Ten Hag has an excuse, John. Has an excuse this next season not to perform.
Yeah, it's a good move for me if you ask me. The way Manchester United have gone about hiring key players, key personnel into their backroom staff, it shows that maybe the due diligence they did in the review towards the end of last season paid off in terms of revealing places where they've had laxes in the backroom staff. So of course they've gotten the Hake, they've also gotten the Nistelrooy, now they've gotten Hele van Rote, and I think it's a good move if you ask me. But I think like every Manchester United fan out there would want to know, when are we getting a couple more signings? Because signing Joshua Zirkzee,
yes,
it's not enough. You have to solve the problem at the back because they say that defense wins you titles. So you have to solve the two gaping holes in the center half.
No, they even run, they fly.
Center half in that defense. So they need to fill it.
Don't know they run, they fly. Don't know one. They say after you learn to crawl, you learn to walk before you start running. John, no one go through this process.
Bayern Munich have already made more than 4-5 signings this summer already. I'm just saying that Manchester United are starting.
The summer is still long.
You're talking about the Bayern Munich side.
They are starting 1,000 miles behind the start line, and so before you get to the start line, this summer may be over.
You learn to walk before you start to fly. You're not even learning to run. You're learning to fly. John,
so
calm down.
Are you insinuating that Manchester United should be looking to avoid relegation this season?
Yeah, exactly. You understand? Look, I'm saying Ten Hag is a good coach. I want him to stay. I want him to excel at Man United. But John is flying. Bayern Munich has a structure for the past 15 years. Who did they just change? Only the coach. The technical director, the head of football, everybody is still in place. The coaching staffs, they're doing their fantastic job. The medical staffs are doing their fantastic job. And they are still in place. The only person they just changed was Vincent Kompany for Thomas Tuchel. And maybe one or two assistant coaches. Man United are bringing in a whole lot of people in. The McCarthy is leaving. We all saw that. The other guy is leaving. Now, look at Man United now. Chris Amas is leaving. Look at Man United now. They are bringing in assistant coaches. First team goalkeeping coach, Helen Ten. And other key figures in the backroom staff first. Then you start reading about medical staffs and other staffs before you start talking about on the pitch. You understand? You have to deal with matters in the back, because if you cannot handle the backroom staffs properly, there's no performance you get on the pitch. It's just something you have to understand. So Man United are looking to build from the backroom. I say, how do you people speak in Igbo? Okay, my name is Noso, but I don't speak the language very well. They say if something is sport, you start from the head to start changing. I think it's a proverb in Igbo language. So you start from there to start changing. And I think they started from the head, which is the backroom staff. The Glazers are no longer handling football. Let them handle business. Let them handle what money and what's it called? handle that aspect. But when it comes to footballing matter, let the Ineos team handle it, and they're handling it just fine. They're getting in sporting directors. The sporting directors have not even spent up to 3 months.
Yeah.
Then Asford has not spent up to 3 months, and you're expecting him to sign the big names.
They are expecting result this time. You know,
Sure,
so they are just expecting.
But they have 3 years on his contract.
I think
2
I
years.
think it's just 1 year now.
This is his first year of Ineos contract, and they are renegotiating all the contracts they had with Woodward and the rest of the Glazers family. It's a I said this before and I'll say it again. John did not understand the sentence. It's a fresh contract. Forget he has an extension of 1 year on that previous contract.
It's not a fresh contract.
It's a fresh contract.
It's not a fresh
with
contract.
the Ineos team.
Irrespective,
it's a fresh contract with the Ineos team.
Come into
you have 2 years with a year to extend.
You come into a club. You have assets and liabilities. One of those assets is a 2-year contract with this man with an option for extension. You trigger the extension, and because you bought over the club, let me say a minority stake, maybe a 20-25% stake of the club, you inherit the sporting assets and liabilities, and you trigger an extension in an already existing contract which you paid for and you got it. It's not a new contract, for crying out loud. Like, I dislike this notion of like Ten Hag is on a bumper new contract. It's a lie. It's not, because they just triggered an extension.
I'm not telling you.
So it's not a new contract. Even if you baptize that man inside water now and bring him out, it's not a new contract.
I'm not telling you it's a new contract with more pay. It's a new contract with a tweak to it. You've gotten us trophy. Can you do better? The FA Cup is a good trophy. It got them into Europe. But can you do better? And doing better is not okay. You finished 8th. You got us into the Europe. You got us into Europe. Fine.
Can we get up? Contract thing?
Can we get into the top 3?
Do you think that after one
it's not what I think here. They can't sack Ten Hag.
Oh wow!
You just can't sack him now. You can't sack him in the next 10 years. In the next 2 years.
Okay.
It's not about what I think now. It's about what the results will get in the end of 2 seasons from now.
See what I'm saying? Last season, he didn't do well because they broke all the records for the wrong reasons. That's what I'm saying.
And everybody's blaming Ten Hag.
Now they are bringing all the things you are asking for. They are changing the backrooms. Probably they are going to be working on the structures. They are going to work on the medical staff. They are working on the sporting directors. They are working on the coaches. Now they are going to bring in players. They are working on defenders currently. They are now looking for other defenders to bring in. They brought in Zeski. They are bringing defenders. Normally they are going to bring in 2 defenders because they go this young boy Kwambuala.
Yeah.
He joins Villarreal, so they are going to bring in 2 defenders. So these these defenders they are going to bring in, John. Do you think that what they need to bring in this thing, should they bring in Delete and who again? Because they need actually 2 main defenders.
Don't be calling that name.
For me, and you have to get used to it because you are not the one controlling transfer. You are not the one controlling transfer at Manchester United, so you have to get used to it.
There are other players younger than this 25-year-old guy who did better in their league. There's a player from the Ligue 1, Lemi Yoro. They submitted a bid, but the guy, I don't know how
he's holding out for Real Madrid. You can't force
the guy to
move to your club for crying out loud.
They've submitted. If I say this winner, I will say I'm a Man United fan. No, they make me talk this way because
because
Man United has submitted a bid more than his release clause, and the guy is saying, "I want to go to Real Madrid." Fine, we know he wants to go to Real Madrid, but at the time, Real Madrid don't need a defender.
The same thing you were saying a couple of days back when you said that if a club comes for you and you said you don't want to go, they should never come looking for you. Why are you not shifting grounds on this?
No, I'm saying he says he wants to go to Real Madrid.
No, he doesn't want to go to Manchester
sure because
United
Real Madrid is not coming for him. Now, unless see, look at it now. Look at it. It's not that Man United has not contacted him personally. That's another flaw. Man United are only contacting because his agents are not taking calls. Man United are only contacting the club, which is Lille. Man United has not contacted Euro's team personally. If I have contacted you personally and you told me to my face, I want to go to Real Madrid, and Real Madrid signs you after 2 years, they let you go to another club, and you go from another club to another club. Bros, if I need you to save my life, I won't call you again.
It's the choice thing. I've seen players that look for a particular player for 5 years.
Yes,
they keep going and still get the player they want.
Why do you think till date Man United find it difficult? Why do you think till date Man United find it difficult signing Nigerians? They say the Man United don't play Africans. I have the highest goal scorer in an African camp in the Man United league is South Africa. Why do you think it's difficult for them to sign in Nigeria? The thing they went through with Mikel Obi. That was their first Nigerian target player. And what they went through in that transfer, that saga, has prompted Man United not to go for any other. At some point, I felt
Their
like
loss. Their loss, irrespective.
it's the same thing. Fergie has this mentality, and I think
has this ego thing, and everybody knows it. Fergie has an ego thing, everybody knows it. Mourinho has an ego thing, everybody knows it. But set those two people aside, and you have other coaches that are hungry to get results, and ready to do what is needed to get results.
I've waited for Mbappe for like 3 or 4 years.
Yes.
See, they are waiting for him.
After agreeing a personal deal with Real Madrid and then changing it at the dying minute to stay back at Paris Saint-Germain, he is moving to Real Madrid this week.
He said it from a long time ago, even from Monaco, that he wants to play with his idol. At that time, his idol was who? Cristiano Ronaldo. They know at some point he was going to come to Real Madrid, but they don't know when. So even when he wanted to agree a contract, it was like he was too loyal. He just like, see, this is.
I want to ask
in that
you
case,
a question.
it's different. Loyalty. Now, this is what that's how you test someone's loyalty. I want to move to Real Madrid. It's a big club, but please, I am loyal to PSG. Can we give it another year? Can we wait? That loyalty stand. That is one thing. So you can't compare the two cases.
How do you agree
he was
deal
nothing.
in principle
He was loyal.
with Real Madrid? You agree a deal in principle with Real Madrid. Everybody is waiting for you to cross that line, and then Real and Paris Saint-Germain offer you a bucket load of money and everything.
People are looking at the
after
money
already
aspect.
having a handshake.
You're looking at the money aspect. You have a
gentleman's agreement with Real Madrid, and then you went ahead to shun that offer and sign a new extension 2 years. Not just one, 2 years. You went to go and sign that with Paris Saint-Germain. And then the fact that Real Madrid are even looking your way itself should be a blessing, for crying out loud. Because if you were someone else, maybe another person from Florentino Perez, let's say it was Juan Laporta that had a public disgrace like that, you wouldn't be looking your way. And Real Madrid right now don't really need him.
My kind of man.
Real Madrid don't really need him. They need an Erling Haaland who is at Manchester City. So the next best option on the market, you have to go for Mbappe. But they really do not need him. And him coming into that team, he cannot contest with the likes of Vini or Bellingham, because those guys, Real Madrid came in for them, they accepted, they moved straight away. Do you understand me? The person they are building that Real Madrid side around is Vini Jr. Simple and short. So Mbappe needs to come to Real Madrid now with cap in hand, having everything to prove.
Okay. Now,
there's something one of my movie actors used to quote, and I'll quote the movie. A Suits. He says, when you have a handshake deal, you might be expect things to go wrong. Expect things to go wrong for the very wrong reasons, or expect things to go right for the very wrong reasons. You have a handshake deal with Real Madrid, and you went back to PSG, where you have always been. It's normal. It was a handshake deal. Nothing changes. But for Man United, I'll say
this a lot about your character,
though. It tells a lot about you, loyal to where you are.
I disagree.
Okay, guys.
For delete, I said don't mention his name again. Maybe Man United fans will want this. For delete, he didn't have a handshake deal with Man United.
You have to understand that
he
personally disagreed for playing for Man United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, not even under Ten Hag, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I think it's Ten Hag.
Even when Ten Hag wanted him, he said he wanted to leave. When Ten Hag wanted him to stay back at Ajax at that period. He said he wanted to leave, and he left for where? He left for Juventus. He didn't stay up to 2 years in Juventus. He left again. Now you're seeing the move. 2 years here, 2 years here. Now you're on the bench after 2 years here, and you're planning to move again. You wanted to now go to Man United. I wanted you from the jump. I wanted you to give them your heart from the jump.
Manchester United want him, and
loyalty is being tested here. And me, I
disagree.
Okay, let's talk about this Kwambala
ball.
He actually saved Manchester United when they were having injury crisis, but I don't know what happened. Yes, he played when they had injury crisis, but now he's moving to Villarreal. Do you think it's the right move for him to leave Manchester United? I thought probably he will still probably be the third or fourth defender for Manchester United.
Did you see him against Bournemouth?
If you look at what Manchester United is, they are trying to bring Delete, they are trying to bring Brightwaite, they are trying to bring even Tobido. Now they still have Maguire there. They have the Martinez there. So I think he's looking at his options. Now he's able. Let me go and move to Villarreal because they gave him a chance to shine. Now that period that they gave him a chance to shine, he secured the move to Villarreal. Do you think it's a right move for the boy to move? Or
for me, it's a good move for him because at the end of the day, as much as Nonso here can talk about club loyalty and all this stuff for the rest of the years, these players are human beings and their careers are their own. They are working on a ticking timer, which could be the end of their career any day, anytime, right now, irrespective of wherever they are. So you have to make the best move. I said it a few days ago. I'm going to say it again. Football, as fantastic as it is run by these players who are basically looking for a home. Okay, this man does not feel at home at Manchester United. He does not have a starting spot. He cannot even come out of the bench under Eric Ten Hag. And it's true. Nonso a couple of days ago was ranting that you have Cambola, you have this, you have this, you have this. Clearly, there's a disconnect because he's looking for where he has a starting chance, and he's going to Real Madrid. He's going to get playing time.
Villarreal.
Yeah, and Villarreal. He's going to get playing time. He's going to have a fair chance to fight for his shirts at that side, and good luck to him, you know. And right now, looking at Manchester United and their situation, Manchester United are not looking to integrate anybody from that youth setup in that defense. They are not. If they are, they would have kept Kambwala. If they are, they would have kept Kambwala. They would not have moved him on, and they would not have agreed this move to go through. So they are looking to bring in. It's just now, will we see a Manchester United in the coming season that are going to be disappointed because 80% of the targets they are looking to bring in that CB are not looking to come to them.
Okay, guys, the number to call to join us in the studio is 0706
Let me correct John.
048 5853. Call us and tell us what you think about Manchester United and all your club's transfer in this summer. Okay, and also
let me correct John. Sorry for this interrupting you when you wanted to call that number. Let me correct John here now. Willie Kambwala had a discussion with the boss. We all know he was being a bench player last season. Willie had and they said in his contract, why do you think in his contract he said I would want to play even till when he was unveiled? He said I would still like to go back to Man United. You see in his movement, one of his tweets, he said he after all the appreciations in his tweet, he said I will still want to come back. And in the contract they gave him, there's an option to buy back. Any sell-on clause Villarreal does, the sell-on clause does added to about 50 million 50%. Now, you Man United adding 50% to the sell-on clause and an option to buy back in the contract you're giving Villarreal. What does that tell you about the player? It means he's a player for the future, but at the moment, there's no space for you yet. There's a Harry Maguire, there's a Victor Lisa. There's still possibility of Victor Lindelof leaving.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Victor Lindelof has not left yet because no club is coming for Victor Lindelof. Please, I want you to move to Villarreal. That's just the case. It's a case of please move a bit. After maybe 4 years, 5 years, we would want you back, but not now. So we can't send you.
You know, Manchester United cannot control that term.
We can't send you on a 1 year loan.
From now, Ten Hag may not be in place. The board and the management at Manchester United may not be in place. So there's no. It's really no concrete.
It's a contract. An option to buy back is there.
And once he moves away from Villarreal, you can't execute the buyback because it's a
then you get the 50% of the sell-on clause.
Okay,
it's a two-way thing, man. You're selling him for 100 million. Man United is getting 50 million.
It does okay.
We want him back. We're getting him for cheap.
Okay, no problem.
It's just a contract thing.
Before we move away from Manchester United, now Lazio has joined the race to sign Greenwood. You know, Marseille is trying to get him for a while now, but Lazio came out to say that they are actually trying to get Greenwood. Everybody is trying to get Greenwood. So this Greenwood is a superstar. Everybody knows that. But which one do you prefer? Also, do you prefer him going to Italy or him going to France? Because Marseille is a good team.
Yes.
Very good team. Lazio is a good team too.
Okay.
Now, we are even having rumors of Juve is trying to get a signature.
Juventus has been on that talking list for some time.
Do you think he should move to Italy or should he move to France?
I'll say this anytime, any day. Italy all the way. I saw a news report on the mayor of Marseille saying something about him, about his character. When you know in court he was not persecuted. Man United conducted their own investigation and all of that. And in court he was not persecuted for that. He has gone on loan and you've seen him as a player for Getafe and he did fantastic that season. And as a mayor of a city, you come on media to criticize him and saying the club does not have I don't know how to put this now. You now put the club on double standards, or perhaps you now depict the club's level of bringing a player like that. You degrade his character. You degrade his character, and you want the club not to sign him. From the mayor's speech, it's all clear. The mayor can convince the whole of the town not to give him the accolades he deserves. But now the club's president is telling you, now it's like the mayor has his own standards. The club president has his own standards. the club president is telling you we don't want him for what he did to his wife or perhaps that's not what happens in the house happens in the house.
It's their business.
But what happens on the pitch is what we need, and he's a good player. We want him. That's what the mayor is telling the fan base of Marseille. So I think, that's what the board of directors, the director of Marseille is telling the mayor. So I think it's not a debate between the mayor and the CEO of Marseille.
For real,
And
if you ask me, it's no debate
it's not a
because the
debate.
mayor does not have any controlling stake in Marseille. He cannot say this guy
just
is
an
coming
opinion.
to play
Tell
his
me
play.
about that.
This is a private owned
Tell me
club.
about that in the French
This
league.
is a private
And why do you
owned
thi- why do
club.
you-
You
and why
do
do you
not
thi- why
have
do you think
control over
one
the
person
club.
is always winning the
And I
league all
disagree.
season?
I disagree. I
If
clearly
it's not a
disagree.
political
The
issue,
most important thing.
if it's not a political issue in
I disagree.
France, why is this thing always
Who?
going to PSG? Trump is always going to PSG.
Excuse me.
It's always political in France.
Excuse me.
That's why they call it. That's what they call it. This thing.
No,
It's
I
always
disagree.
political.
No,
with
you
that.
can't come here
It's
and
like
make that
saying-
baseless
it's like
accusation. I
saying Bayern
disagree.
Munich, it's political for Bayern Munich to winning league every
I
year.
disagree.
That's why they keep signing players from every top
see,
league.
It's money.
It's money. You pay, you get value, irrespective of where you get it from. You pay fair value for a player, you get the player, and that's how it is. When Chelsea came for Ashkash, what's his name? Ashley Cole, they paid fair value. Arsenal let him go. That's it. Every other talk about tapping up a player behind the scene, there are regulations about that. In Bundesliga, you pay for a player, you get the player, irrespective of where they are playing for. Bayern Munich have not done anything wrong buying players of opposition because those oppositions were ready to sell and they got value for money. I don't know if you understand me. So now coming back to the Ligue 1, the only voice that matters in the Ligue 1 today, as it relates to Olympic Marseille and Greenwood, is what the chairman of that club is saying. Now, the mayor has come out to wag his tail. Maybe he's looking for clout or whatever. I don't know. But the message from the Marseille camp should not be on a personal level to Greenwood. And you iron out this issue. If he wants to go there, he can go there, irrespective of the mayor.
So Italy or France for you, Joe?
You know, I would like to bring another
You will still
dimension
go
to
there
this
to Italy.
conversation.
You will still go down to Italy.
I would like to bring another.
Earlier you
I would
dragged
like
the
to bring
topic.
excuse me. I'd
It's to
like
go
to
back
bring
to
another
Italy.
dimension to this conversation now. Name me two wingers in the market this summer. Two wingers in the market this summer that Manchester United can sign for less than 50 million. Two wingers, two phenomenal wingers this summer that Manchester United can sign for less than 50 million. You can't name two, but you have two within the club. Why is the club so bent on letting Greenwood go? Why is the club so bent on letting Sancho go? Because you can't find replacement right now. If you collect 40 million for Greenwood, it's an undersell if you ask me, because he's worth way more than that, irrespective of other personal issues aside. You understand me? It's worth way more than that. And these guys have a job to do at the Manchester United side. So I feel Manchester United are just being acquiesced to sell Greenwood because they want to look good in the media. Simple and short.
Oh, okay, guys. Okay, the number to call us in the studio is 0706 048 5853. Call us to tell us what your contribution about the transfers for your club. Okay, let's move over from Manchester United. Let's go to Arsenal, because Fulham and Palace are looking to sign Smith Rowe. Now, they gave him number 10 last season, thinking that he's going to be their future. But unfortunately for everybody, injury came. He didn't play much last season. Now, do you think he should be moving away from Arsenal to get game time? Because if you look at Arsenal starting 11, they are set. Like, the starting 11 is set. He needs to fight to take a position, but he's going to be fighting with probably the captain, Odegaard. And he can't, if Partey is playing, that means Rice have to play. Then starting in that midfield will be hard for him. So do you think he should stay in at Arsenal and fight for his place now? So, or do you think he should go to probably Fulham and Crystal Palace? They are bidding, but Arsenal is trying to tell him, cool, that let's look at this situation.
In Fulham, there's an Andres Pereira, there's an Alexi Wobi in that same position. So he's coming to fight for his starting place.
I disagree.
And I prefer him fight where he knows he would get the starting lineup.
Either way
he is. Now you would want to compare Smith Rowe to Andres Pereira. Come on now, please.
I disagree. Andres Pereira is a plus CM. He's not an AM, for crying out loud.
I think he should
You
go.
play him alongside a DM and you play Smith Rowe up front if they are playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. And that's what Fulham plays exactly.
Alex.
Simple.
Same thing with Alex. See, for the likes of Paulina
Alex
and
plays
Lewis,
on the wing.
Alex plays through the middle as well.
I disagree. You play
This
down the
season-
wing.
this
Name
season-
me
this
one
season-
other winger
this
they have
season-
in that side that can play on the wing to replace Alex Iwobi.
They have many of them in that
They
position.
don't have, actually. They
There's
don't
a
have.
Richardson. They have
They
many.
don't have.
There's a Richardson. There's a what's his name again? There's a Hall. I can go on and name 17 of the
crying out
players
loud.
that they have on that
If you
side,
like
on the
name
flanks.
50,
And
they
if-
are
if
not
you look
on
at-
the
if you
level
look
with
at-
Iwobi.
If you look at Smith Rowe too,
No, look at.
when
I'm looking,
he started with Arsenal, he can play from the left wing.
he
too.
can play from the left.
So
he can play from
he
the
can
left
play
wing. He
middle
can
or
play from the
left wing.
middle.
Yeah, so he has his utility player. So what I'm saying that if you are
I'm just saying, if you want to leave for a club that you get a starting lineup, leave for where you know the starting lineup is certain. A Palace side is letting go of Olise. Olise can play from the left, right wing forward and can play from the middle behind the striker. Eze might be leaving anytime soon because there's no concrete deal for him yet. So he might be leaving. We're not sure of that. You come in and pair with Eze in Palace. It's good that way. There's a Mark Hughes who is about leaving as well. He's old enough, so they need replacement for Mark Hughes. So you see, Edward is not doing good himself in front in the attacking position, and he's not doing well as well from the flanks. So I think they could put Edward in the bench and play him up front in the flanks as well. There anywhere in the Crystal Palace position, in the Crystal Palace setup, they could play him in the middle alongside Billy Chukwueze. They could play from the flanks. Anyway, in that position, he's good. But in Fulham, I don't think he has a sure starting lineup position. Is what
Oh,
I'm
wow.
saying. I'm just saying. If you're going to be looking at the Arsenal setup, look at the Crystal Palace setup and look at the Fulham setup. He's certain to start in Crystal Palace than in Fulham. It's just one-way ticket for him in the Crystal Palace setup because Elisa is leaving.
You know,
And there's
you
another
know,
player that can play from that right wing position, but they need someone to pair with.
nobody
Eze.
is talking about him fighting for his place in Arsenal. in
Nobody's
this
talking-
Arsenal
no,
team.
because
if you ask me,
definitely-
none of these
see,
transfers,
definitely-
if you ask me, none of these transfers, either to Fulham or to Crystal Palace, none of them should be a permanent transfer. It should be a loan spell.
The
If
loan
you ask
spell.
me, yeah.
If you
Loan spell.
if you ask me, just go on loan for
If,
one
if,
week,
if
1 year
I'm
and come
Arteta
back.
How many
right
loans
now,
have you
if
gone
I'm
for?
Arteta right now, it will be a loan spell to come back at the end or by January. Simple.
You know that Arsenal let go Lokonga. He moved to Villarreal. That
Same with
Sevilla
Tavares.
and
Yeah.
Tavares have moved to France. Now there is a rumor. I don't even know how this rumor sounds. Arsenal is looking for Joe Felix. I don't know if this rumor is right, but is he a player like Arsenal should be looking out for?
I totally disagree. Arsenal shouldn't be looking for him.
Because I think they have enough firepower.
They have enough fire.
Do they?
They do not have. For me, if you now need to change.
No,
it.
you asked me that question, and we communicated
instead
in
of
spirit. You know the
firepower,
answer to the question
instead of
already.
firepower, you should be talking about goals. You should be talking about goals instead of firepower. They need a striker, and they need somebody for that fullbacks. They need somebody in the left. So those are the two places they are looking to show up. Unless you want to tell me now that because just this morning we are hearing about Zubimendi, we are hearing about Mikel Moreno too. So unless you are telling me, but right now I would say they need firepower as a
And
goal scorer
Felix
up front.
Felix is not the answer.
Felix, please look at the stats, man. How
Is
many
Kai- was-
seasons has he
wait
scored
now,
up to 10 goals
was
in
Kai
one
Havertz
season?
the answer?
No,
Arteta wasn't looking for a
Was
striker.
Kai Havertz the answer?
Arteta wasn't looking for a
But
striker.
these two players, if there's something people forget,
Arteta
see,
wasn't
when
looking
you
for
don't,
a striker. Arteta was looking for someone in the midfield, and that didn't work out. So he moved him up front, and
the
it's
same
paying off.
thing. Now he's playing as a false nine. I mean that's what we call him now, a false nine. These two players have similar style of play. People keep taking away the factor that you need to have players with similar style of play that could bring something different to the side.
Harvard clearly does that. So why do you need
Harvard
a
does
Felix
that.
to
Now,
do
if
that?
Harvard is injured, who else does it?
There are thousands of
you-
players in that
you want to
Arsenal
call
side that
Jesus-
create
Jesus-
chances.
Jesus is-
There are
want to call
players that
Jesus.
score goals in
Now,
that side too.
Jesus, how many chances has he created? He always goes to try and battle the wings with Saka.
I disagree.
No,
Are we clear now?
I'm
He's
not
always
saying-
going there to battle the same right wing position with
For
Saka.
me, there's no
On
need
the
for
left,
Joao Felix in that
Martinelli
side.
is always running with his head bowed down to the ground, not looking up. Now you want a Joao Felix who can bring something different to the side. It's understandable. This is a player that plays similarly with Kai Havertz, but more advanced than Martinelli because he's always scouting for the next pass.
And this is a player that's come out to the media to tell you that his dream club is Barcelona, and that's where he wants
And
to
he's
play.
gone on loan to Barcelona and he's
are
going
looking
back to
bring
where he
him
came
back
from.
again. Simple.
Who says?
Simple.
Barcelona. Now let me correct you there. Barcelona are looking, if they wanted to bring him back, they would have sent because the loan spell came with.
He's going back wherever.
I want to correct John now because they're not looking to bring him back because the loan deal they sent him on before had an option to buy. And if Barca wanted him permanently, they would have triggered that option. They did not trigger the option.
Barca are keeping their options open.
So therefore, Barca president has come out to announce that he wants that they have enough money. Let me put it the way. Let me phrase it the way they phrase it. He has enough money to pay for Nico Williams after the whole loan, after the whole saga of them breaking FFP. That the club has enough money to pay for Nico Williams from Atletico.
So Arsenal should not bother.
I'm just saying, if you need replacement for Kai Havertz, which I don't think they do, bring in Joao Felix, like for like replacement. But what we need right now is replacement for Saka. In case Saka is injured, Saka cannot continue to play 60 match a season. No be robust the guy, no be Wood. At some point, he would get injured. Who would play from that position? Odegaard. If Odegaard goes to that position to play, who will play from the middle?
Okay.
Nobody.
That's where Smith Rowe would play if he was in the club.
Arsenal is still working on Califuli, but the deal is trying to go through. But the issue now that Juventus has entered, Juventus is entering every deal. I don't understand.
They are not entering every deal, bro. They are not entering every deal. They are taking their time to scout. This is an Italian guy. He was weighing his options. At some point, they agreed. They did like what I said before. They did a handshake deal. Now Juventus is coming to do another handshake deal. Now let's see which handshake deal we go through. You understand? Which handshake deal better pass? Then we'll go for the club. And the bid. Arsenal were submitting about let's say 50 million pounds for the player, while the club was holding out for 60 million. Now Arsenal submitted 50 million pounds before. I think the club rejected some offer before, and they were trying to renegotiate a new contract, but Arsenal has not sent an offer. And Juventus are now coming into the picture with a sort of conversation. Not that they've not submitted. Juventus at the moment has not submitted an official bid yet. They only entered the conversation to say how far. She una one said, I mean no one said. And because of that question alone, Bologna are holding their cards
for more money.
For more money, because now this is the trick clubs do that John might not understand. Sorry, but this, if another big club comes for a player and this club is like what Lee are trying to do now, Real Madrid is holding out for 20 million pounds because they know his contract is going to expire next season. Man United are already paying 50 million. They know they want to sell to Man United, but if they hear that another person is coming, Man United will have to pay 70. So that's what Juventus and Bologna are doing now. Arsenal has been bidding for this guy for about 45 million or so, and they submitted 50 million. That's 45 million now, and maybe bonuses later. So total of 50 million package. And Juventus just asked the question, how far? Now market, if they market, you understand? Definitely Arsenal will be looking to, let's submit a higher bid, 60 million, 70 million. Then Juventus was like, okay, fine, I'm coming with 70 million. Arsenal will be forced to pay 80. So it's a strategy for Bologna to announce that Arsenal and Juventus are inquiring. Not that Juventus have submitted a player. It's a strategy for Bologna to announce that Juventus are inquiring for the player. So Arsenal will be forced to pay higher than expected for the player.
Okay, guys, before we go on break, remember we are live now on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. At Vote FM Sports, that is our handle on YouTube. Join us live and watch us talk about sports. We are going to go on a quick short break. When we come back, we'll talk about other transfers from other countries. We've been talking about Manchester United and Arsenal transfer. Liverpool have not really made any move in the club. They are actually trying to weigh in their options, including Manchester City too. Pep is relaxed. He's not even bothered about this transfer because he has a complete score. What is he fighting for? He's won the Champions League. But when we come back, we'll talk about other transfers from other countries. Stay with us.
Follow Volt FM on Facebook at Volt 1043 FM. Let's vibe together.
Volt 104.3 F.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Remember, you can join the conversation with us here live in the studio. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. 0706 048 5853. We are also live on YouTube now. We always live on YouTube Monday to Friday to Saturday, every single day. Monday to Saturday. Our handle is at Vote FM Sports. At Vote FM Sports. Okay, guys, I want to talk about this particular transfer because this transfer is something that is always interesting for me every single summer. AC Milan is closing on to buy Morata from Atletico Madrid. The thing about Morata is that Morata has been to all the big clubs in the whole world. what he remain for him to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid? He is been with Juventus, Chelsea, name it, Atletico Madrid. I don't know how he keeps getting this move. I think he needs to give his agent the agent of the century, because he keeps securing this guy good deals. Now he's moving to AC Milan. No, so do you think it's a good thing for him to move from Atletico to AC Milan?
Headmaster don't go now. You go need another headmaster. You understand? Giroud is about leaving the game. So I think with Giroud leaving, definitely you need someone else that could replace Giroud well. In case of those players sending all those top crosses, you need someone to score with the head. You need someone to score you tap-ins. Or you need someone to hold on the ball for a build-up play. You know, when you send a long ball and one lone striker is there, he could hold up well and distribute the passes to the wingers to score goals. Someone like that is what Giroud has been doing for AC Milan. I think when Zlatan came in, he acknowledged Giroud for doing exactly that same job. So I think Morata coming into that side would be a plus for them. But I think they are looking to ship out some of those players or some of the old players, and they just got a player in for 1 year, and after 1 year they want to let him go. Talking about the Nigerian who's played there, Samuel Chukwueze. So I think Samuel coming in from Villarreal, and after 2 years, after 1 year, they want to sell him to bring in Morata is a bad deal. You understand?
They don't play this on the same side of this.
It's attack. A bad. It's not because of the position he plays for. It's because of the injury cases he's had. Is the Serie A, the first season you're bound to have injuries. After 9 games, you don't click. After 9 games, you go on injury for like 3-6 weeks. Then you come back and you're fully fit. Then after 1 or 2 games, you're in. But the coach keeps treating him with these safety measures and not playing him enough time. And I think if you're not giving him enough time on the side, you're going to have issues. And I think that was what the issue with Samuel Chukwueze has been so far. So they want to ship out Samuel Chukwueze. Rumors have it that they want to ship him out to bring in another young winger from the right wing forward and Morata, which is going to be a bad deal for them. Bros, leave Morata. If you want to sign Morata, sign in Morata. And leave Chukwueze where he is.
They're not like leave Morata. Morata is Abramovich wants Morata because he's now part of AC Milan management. He's saying that he's bringing Morata. He's his personal player now.
That's what I'm saying. To replace Giroud, fine. To replace Olivier Giroud is okay. But only Samuel Chukwueze is a player you would want to have in your side anytime, any day. He's gone on that injury last season. He's back from that injury now. He would give you whatever you want Morata to supply. He will supply you the passes Morata needs to score goals.
Okay, John. Morata to AC Milan.
You know, good for him. That's all I can say.
Good for him because I think he did well with Atletico Madrid.
I'm just saying, if Morata would want to go to that side, Rafael will have to be crossing in those balls early and not take-ons. Not complete take-ons, not bury his head on the ground like Martinelli does and run all around. He would have to send in those crosses as early as possible. Dribble one, send in a cross. And don't dribble anybody too much.
Another thing we've not really talked about is Rafael's place in that side as concerns playing as a forward in that team now. Morata coming shifts the dynamics now because Rafael is more of the guy who has the ball, who wants to take on, he wants to enter inside the 18. He wants to create his chance and finish it as well. Rather, Morata looks to create and also receive and finish chances. So now there has to be a shift in how AC Milan played this season as against how they played last season. So just cooperate.
Okay,
them
and there is a bit for Barca is trying to. You were mentioning it before we went on break. Barca is trying to bring Nico Williams to Barcelona. So they say they have all the money to bring that young boy. So Atletico Bilbao,
they have all the money.
Atletico Bilbao is holding on a huge amount of money, but Barca is willing to do whatever it takes, John, to bring him to Barcelona.
I think they just want to reignite that partnership we saw at the Euro 2024, which was with Lamine Yamal. And
they should just sign the whole Spain team.
So I think if they have the funds to do it, fine. But you still need someone in that 9th position that is going to be burying all these chances, and they need to.
They have Lewandowski.
Lewy is not leaving.
Lewy is not leaving, but Lewy is not at his prime either. So
who says you're not giving him the pass? How will he be on his
prime either? And
Lewy
it's natural. There's nothing against that, and it's not a deficit to him.
There's this thing they talk about players at their prime. Well, you'll be at your prime when you have a team at their prime. You understand? Barca has been tinkering with statistics and tactics and all of that. Even under his first season under Xavi, he won the La Liga, which tells you that they were stable at some point. Then injury came in and something like that. They started tinkering with tactics and all of that. And you see him in the second season, I had 2 injuries and fall off. You get now with the addition of Nico Williams, who you know can cross the ball well. You've seen him play with his brother Inaki, though they cut him from two different angles. They always cross the ball into the final third. They always put the ball in the final third to make sure a striker is there to tap in, or perhaps a midfielder is there to tap in, like what they did in the Euros this against England in the final, with that one-touch flick from Yamil Lamar and a missed kick from the other player, from Zubimendi. I think that was a missed kick from Morata before Nico Williams scored that goal in the finals. So if you have this player, you know you're having a flair from the flanks. You just need a good striker to help them grow. And you see this, Lewandowski is this player that could come in and join the build-up play. So I think he's one of the best players they have. They have to tutor them into the nearest future, and I think he's going to be staying for like 2 or 3 years to come, maybe 2 years. But you're saying he's not in his prime. He's still going to be there for a very long time. And if he's not available, there's a Ferran Torres that could join. Now they could play a fleet formation. Now it's not a tactics. It's a tactics thing where you play a fleet formation. Everybody's running header-scatter. Defenders don't know who to hold on to. Now with Ferran Torres, but Lewandowski, you know he could come up and hold up play, and the rest could score, and he could also score the goals for himself. So I think it's a good addition for them. But where did Barca
find money?
See the money they have to sign Nico. That is where the problem is.
That they have to answer that for this. They say they have
It's a
money.
query.
I'm
submitting a query.
I think after signing him, they will need to balance the books.
After
And sell who?
you sign him, you balance the books first before you sign him.
No,
because Xavi is coming to tell you now that the sign-on fee that he paid his former club, the sign-off he paid from his own pocket to leave his former club out of loyalty for Barca to come, that he wants to use that money to pay his staffs. Now they should pay him, and we've not heard any story about that yet. If Barca has paid him that money or not, we've not heard any story about that. So I think at this point, Barca have to sell the whole defensive line. Kunde and the rest of them.
I don't think they'll
and
do that.
Arojo. They'll have to sell the Arojo and the Kundes to
Let's
balance
not
the book.
forget that it was the president of La Liga who said that Barcelona have that leeway now, because of course they've been smart over the couple of 2 seasons, so they have that leeway now to do one big signing and then a couple of other transactions to get it in. So if it's possible, why not have Nico Williams playing for Barcelona alongside Lamine Yamal? It's a fantastic pairing up front, and then you have Lewy in the middle. So all grace to them. I think one of the things that they need to now recover from, let's not forget that just last season they moved on Ousmane Dembele. They got something back for him. Kudos to Dembele for making sure they got something from that transfer. And I think now they've gotten a lot of players off that wage bill on their team sheet, so they have space now to bring Williams in, and I think it's a good one if you ask me.
Okay, let's move on to Bayern Munich, because Bayern Munich has been making moves. They are interested in bringing Olmo to Bayern Munich. Olmo, they are still working on Jonathan Tah. Now they are considering bringing Olmo. How many players do they need to even to wrestle this league back from Leverkusen?
They need starting 11.
They need
the whole starting 11.
On this Olmo thing, I was reading up that Manchester City too are looking into Olmo, so it's going to be a fight to get him. But if you ask me, Bayern Munich need all the hands they can get in terms of the attacking. Olmo is going to come into play in that 10 row because you have the perfect wingers to play, complement him on the wings, and you have a good striker up front too.
For a man that plays a 4-4-2 formation.
So Olmo he could be a diamond if you ask me, and there's no limit to how he can iterate that formation. There's no limit to that. There's no limitation to that. If you want Olmo, he'll make that change for him. Same thing for Mikel Arteta. He wanted Kai Havertz. He moved around other players, key players that should be starters, to give that guy game time. So if you want him, he will make changes so that he can bring him into the side. So it's just a matter of will Olmo move or will City beat him to the punch?
No, so what do you think? Bayern Munich, they are buying players. They bought
like I said before, they had structure for the past 15 years. Tell me one person they let go to bring out somebody else for the past 5 years from that backroom staff. None. So that backroom staff have been working their asses off to make sure the club is at standard. And Bayern Munich at some point brought in Kompany, and Kompany has an idea what he wants to play like, and I think that idea is bringing these players young. But this Jonathan Tah issue is the same thing as the Kylian Mbappe's issue. He's been at Leverkusen for about 5 years now or more, and he's been loyal to them. I think 3 years ago, Bayern Munich wanted him, and he said no. He wants to maintain his loyalty. He wants to see out his contract at Leverkusen. Now he's won a trophy with Leverkusen, which means if he's going to Bayern Munich now, he's going there as, I didn't come here empty-handed. I won a trophy while you were still the champion. I beat you in your game. So he will be given that respect, unlike Kylian Mbappe, who doesn't have a Champions League. He only has the League One. So I think Jonathan Tah's case is different because he's had that loyalty and he's won the league and he's moving to Bayern Munich after 5 years of them scouting for him. So he's going there now as a leader. You understand? As a leader, he's going to Bayern Munich. But Bayern Munich has this thing of going for every star player of every team in the Bundesliga.
Well,
now this is Dani Olmo's case. He's one of the star players in RB Leipzig, and he's moving and he's been asked off by Bayern Munich after seeing his performance in the Euros 2024. You have to say Bayern Munich are doing a good job keeping their top spot in asking for players in every position. I think next time now they'll be going for Hensen. The same Hensen of the Moscow Leipzig as well, because he's one of their best players in Leipzig, and they might be going for Florian Wirtz because he's another best player.
You know, so
they might go for everybody.
Bayern Munich are well within their rights to go for whoever they want to go for. Okay, it's now the clubs they are buying from who are willing to get that money to sort out their financial problems and survive in the Bundesliga. I don't think that Bayern Munich should be crucified for that. And if they want to get Jonathan Tah, why not? If he's ready to move, that's just the thing.
Okay, let's talk about Victor Osimhen. PSG is insisting on getting him. They are trying to bid, and you know that we have said on this show that Napoli came out to say that he has a contract, a clause in his contract that he can move if the right price coming from him. But PSG is insisting. Now they lost Mbappe. They are looking for a star person to spearhead that attack because obviously they don't trust Ramos. They have Ramos, they don't trust. So they are now trying to get Osimhen. I keep asking, is it moving to PSG or moving back to France? Is it a good move for Osimhen, or should he be trying English Premier League, guys?
For me, if you ask me, it depends on the quality of offers that are coming for him. Okay.
And who is coming for him?
Who is coming for him too? It depends on the quality of contract and who is coming for him. Right now, for me, it's not looking. I wouldn't advise him to stay at Napoli, looking at his career and everything, given also his history with Napoli. So it would be move. But if you say move, then where are the options coming in? Saudi Arabia or Paris Saint-Germain? For crying out loud, Paris Saint-Germain over Saudi Arabia because they are still playing in the Champions League and he has an opportunity to hopefully win it and get the League On title under his belt as well. So, but if there's an offer coming from England, why not move to England?
But
simple.
Who in England will
I said if there's an offer.
There's no offer. That's the
If
case. There's no
an
offer. Even if there was an offer, where in England does he want to play?
I just been petty, bro.
Where in England does he want to play? Because Man City will not want to give him a certain lineup. Chelsea have paid too much money for Michael Jackson, the dancer. And we don't want to.
Nico Jackson.
Okay, sorry, Nico Jackson. You know, the M and the N they sound alike. Nico Jackson, and we will not want to pay another money for another striker. They are not certain will come and get them results.
So they are in
with
the
a coach
market
that
for a
is still
striker,
with a coach that is still testing his feet in big games. You know, he's still testing his ability to coach a big club, Enzo Maresca.
Yeah.
So with all these factors, we know Chelsea and Man City are out of the way. Man United has gotten a Joshua, a 23-year-old boy, who we know for some reason, I don't know. I want to now put them in the Gianluca situation. Strikers from Italy have not come to the Premier League to do well. I've not seen any striker. Now I'm beginning to think of it. I've not seen any striker from the Serie A that came to the Premier League and did fantastic.
Countless.
Name me one. Them. You can name me defenders and midfielders. I'll give you that. But a striker from the Serie A, straight up from the Serie A to the Premier League, name me one from top of your head. On this show, you would not. Maybe after 1 week. Name me one from top of your head right now.
There are.
I could give you the time. It's on this show.
So you are saying that if
a striker, I think I never see striker will come from Serie A. Striker, midfielders have been fantastic because if you call midfielders now, you call the likes of Bruno Fernandes and all of that and many of them. But a striker from the Serie A has found it difficult playing in the Premier League.
So Osimhen will struggle.
Definitely. So if he goes to Arsenal, double the struggle. So name me a club in the Premier League.
This is just
I see.
I
am mentioning. I'm not saying. I'm mentioning the top 6 leagues. The top 6 club in the Premier League. I've mentioned as Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool does not need a striker right now. So there's no. If you want to leave now a club like Napoli, you'll be going for the big. You won't come all the way from Napoli and come and play for Aston Villa. You know, smoke expired weed. You won't come from all the way from Napoli and come and play for Everton. You understand? So I don't think something will be wrong with you that way. So I think it's up to him to go to PSG and play in a bigger club than Napoli.
Okay.
The top 6 in England are not looking for a striker right now like Victor Osimhen. So I think that PSG is the best option for him.
Okay. Finally, guys, Renato Martinez of Inter Milan, he is their captain. He's going to sign a new deal. He's saying that he's not moving anywhere. He's going to stay with Inter Milan. He probably signed about 3 years contract. He's going to retire. He said he wants to retire at Inter. He wants to be their club legend. How do you think he should be moving, John? Or do you think he should just stay at Inter Milan? Because he has built like mansion at Inter Milan. Everybody is looking at him as the main guy at Inter Milan. He is their captain. But for me, I think he should try another league. I don't think he should stay. But what do you think, John?
For me, I think he should stay. He has a starting berth at Inter Milan. He's the main guy at Inter Milan. His closest competition isn't at the club right now, so he's the main guy at Inter Milan. He got them the top goals last season, so he should be staying. It will take a Real Madrid or a Barcelona to prize him out of Inter Milan right now, and that's not happening anytime soon. So he's also well within his rights to be talking about the legend retiring thing. But bro, trust me, once Real Madrid come calling this second, he's moving.
The guy that made Lukaku a star. I still say this again. After Lukaku left Man United for Inter Milan, he came back to England and he was worse off than when he was at Man United. This is another striker from Italy back to England. This guy made, I think Lukaku's career was in the peak when this guy made him one of the best players in Serie A. It was not Lukaku and the midfielders. Everybody were complaining of Lukaku's weight and his first touch, because for you to be a good striker, you need to have a good ball control. And Lukaku lacks, maybe his ball control is maybe 60%, not up to 80%. And this guy made Lukaku a star. You understand? Now he's making Thuram. He's making another. This is a player that plays as a striker, but nobody recognizes him as a striker. They only recognize him as a SS, supporting striker, coming behind the striker to play behind the striker. And he's doing a fantastic job getting goals and providing goals for a striker. So I think, for me, even if Real Madrid comes calling right now, he's being worshipped at Inter Milan. So they don't sing his praises enough in the Argentine side. You get? That's what I was telling John. And John is calling him, is always telling me
he's underrated in the Argentine side.
They don't sing him praises enough. He's the unsung hero for the Argentine side. Anytime, any day, they don't sing him enough praises, and he's the unsung hero for them. And I think at Inter Milan, he's a god. The fans worship him. They have, I think, if he chooses to retire tomorrow, they'll have a statue of him in front of the stadium. They'll have 2 statues of him, one in the stadium, one in the training camp. So whenever young lads are coming, they'll say, this guy, we love him.
Okay, guys, Lautaro Martinez should stay and be a legend for Inter Milan. Okay, this is how we are going to end in today's show. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the conversation. We are always live every day on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. That's our handle on YouTube. Join us every day, Monday to Saturday. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Godwin. Up next is News at 9. Have a lovely day.
Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage.
Take a break and enjoy the show.
Sports. Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a great Entertainment. News and politics. Gospel.
And let them have dominion. The kingdom of God is within people.
Jordan Shakiri.
Awesome food. Exclusive.
Vote 104.3 FM.
Arrow, drop 'em.